You wake up and you cannot move. Not because your body is broken, but because something inside you has run dry. The doctors find nothing wrong. Your blood tests come back normal. Yet you feel like a ghost walking through your own life. This is not about being tired. You have drained something deeper. Something the modern world does not even have a name for. There was a warrior named Chen who fought for his people for 15 years. Every battle won. Every enemy defeated. He never broke his discipline. He never showed weakness. Then, one morning, he opened his eyes and could not rise. His limbs felt like stone. His mind like fog. The imperial physicians examined him and found no illness, no injury, nothing they could explain. They prescribed rest. Weeks passed. Nothing changed. Chen lay in his bed, alive but hollow, watching his life slip away. His wife refused to accept this. She traveled to the mountains and found an old healer, a woman who had left the emperor's court decades before to study the older medicines. The healer came to Chen's home, looked at him for less than a minute, and said 6 words that changed everything. "You are not sick. You are empty." This changes everything because it reveals what modern medicine misses completely. When you push yourself past a certain point, you do not just get tired. You drain something ancient texts call Jing, your essence. Not your daily energy, but the source that generates it. The well beneath the well. And here is what almost no one understands. Rest does not refill this. You can sleep for weeks and still wake up hollow. Because you are trying to refill a well when the underground spring itself has run dry. The healer explained it like this. Your body has 2 kinds of energy. Qi is what you use each day. When qi runs low, you rest and it returns. This is normal. But beneath qi lives Jing. Jing is deeper. It is the root battery. Your fundamental reserves. The energy you were born with, plus what you build through how you live. When you drain Jing, everything starts failing at once. Not dramatically, slowly, like a river drying up from the source. Here's the first twist. Modern burnout advice tells you to rest, to disconnect, to take a vacation. But that is treating qi depletion, not Jing depletion. These are not the same thing. Someone with qi depletion feels better after a weekend off. Someone with Jing depletion rests for a month and still wakes up tired. Still cannot think clearly. Still feels nothing where emotions used to be. Because Jing requires something different than rest. It requires Yang Sheng, which means nourishing life. Active replenishment. The healer taught Chen something the imperial doctors did not know. Your Jing lives in 5 reservoirs, corresponding to the 5 major organ systems in Chinese medicine. The kidneys hold your physical vitality, your will to continue. The heart holds your mental clarity, your ability to feel joy. The liver stores your emotional resilience, your capacity to adapt. The spleen sustains your sense of connection, your ability to belong. The lungs contain your spiritual breath, your sense of meaning. When you burn out, you have usually drained multiple reservoirs at once. This is why rest alone fails. You rest your body, but your heart still feels numb. You take time off, but your liver energy stays stuck. Recovery requires refilling each reservoir specifically. Chen asked how to do this. The healer gave him a rotation. Each day, focus on one reservoir. Do not try to fix everything at once. Monday, nourish the kidneys. Move slowly. Eat warm, simple foods. Pay attention to the lower back, the area where kidney energy lives. Tuesday, support the heart. Sit in stillness. Practice something that requires focus, but no pressure. Calligraphy. Drawing, something that calms the mind without forcing it empty. Wednesday, tend the liver. Allow emotions to move without judgment. Feel what needs to be felt. Thursday, restore the spleen. Have gentle conversation. Prepare a meal with someone. Connect without performing. Friday, feed the lungs. Spend time in nature. Read poetry. Contemplate what gives life meaning beyond achievement. Here is the second twist. This is not just ancient wisdom. Modern research on burnout recovery is starting to discover the same patterns. Studies show that people with deep exhaustion have disrupted cortisol rhythms, depleted nutrient stores, altered stress responses. These changes do not fix themselves with a week off. They require months of specific practices. The Chinese understood this centuries ago. They just described it differently. Chen followed the rotation. The first month, nothing changed. He felt the same emptiness, but the healer had warned him. Jing rebuilds slowly. For every year you spent draining it, expect one season to restore it. Chen had pushed himself for 15 years. Full recovery would take time. Most people give up here. They try for a few weeks, see no dramatic results, and assume nothing is working. But Jing does not announce its return with trumpets. It comes back like spring after winter, gradually. One morning, you notice you slept deeply. Another day, you realize you laughed at something small. Eventually, you have energy left at the end of the day. These are the signs. Not sudden transformation, slow reconnection. But here is where most teaching about Yang Sheng stops. And here is where the real method begins. Because Chen discovered something even the healer had not mentioned. Something you only learn by doing the practice. As his Jing slowly returned, he started noticing patterns. The days he focused on his kidneys, he slept better that night. The days he tended his liver, his mood stabilized for the next 2 days. The days he nourished his spleen, he felt less isolated that entire week. The reservoirs were not separate. They fed each other. Strengthen one, and the others rise slightly. Neglect one, and the others start draining faster. This revealed the deeper principle. Yang Sheng is not about balancing 5 separate things. It is about understanding how they flow together. In Chinese medicine, there is a cycle called the generating sequence. Kidneys support liver. Liver supports heart. Heart supports spleen. Spleen supports lungs. Lungs support kidneys. Each one feeds the next. When you nourish them in order, the effect compounds. You are not just adding energy. You are restoring the natural circulation. Like clearing a blocked river. Once the flow returns, the whole system begins to heal itself. Chen practiced this for 8 months. By month 3, he could walk short distances. By month 6, his mind cleared enough to read again. By month 8, he felt like himself for the first time since the collapse. But not the same self. Something had changed. He no longer believed strength meant pushing through everything. He understood strength as staying connected to your source, knowing when to nourish before you run dry. This was not weakness. This was wisdom the warriors before him had forgotten. Here is the final truth. The method works not because it adds something new, but because it removes what blocks the natural recovery. Your body knows how to replenish Jing. It has done this your entire life through sleep, food, connection, meaning. But modern life creates constant drains faster than the natural replenishment can keep up. Stress that never stops. Demands that keep escalating. Stimulation that prevents deep rest. Yang Sheng works by removing these blocks long enough for the spring to refill. Not forever, just long enough to reconnect. You start by identifying which reservoir feels most depleted. Do you wake up tired no matter how much you sleep? Kidneys. Cannot focus or feel joy? Heart. Emotions stuck or explosive? Liver. Feel isolated even around people? Spleen. Life feels meaningless? Lungs. Start with the emptiest one. Dedicate one practice each day specifically to that reservoir. Not huge efforts, small, consistent actions. 10 minutes of slow movement for kidneys. 5 minutes of stillness for heart. Time in nature for lungs. Genuine conversation for spleen. Allowing emotions without fixing them for liver. As you practice, remember the timeline. Deep recovery takes months, not weeks. Track changes monthly, not daily. Notice which reservoir responds first. Usually, it is the one you focus on most consistently. As that one strengthens, the others begin lifting too. This is how you know the method is working. Not dramatic transformation. Gradual return of aliveness. Protect your progress. As you start feeling better, do not immediately return to the patterns that drained you. This is the most common mistake. People recover halfway, feel a bit better, then burn themselves out again. True recovery means building new rhythms that maintain nourishment, not temporary fixes. Permanent changes to how you move through your days. The ancient Chinese understood something modern medicine is only beginning to discover. Recovery from deep depletion is not about fixing what is broken. It is about reconnecting to what sustains life. You do not need more willpower. You need to remember how to nourish your essence before it runs dry. This is Yang Sheng, not a technique, a way of living that keeps the spring flowing. Write in the comments, I will nourish my essence. Thank you for watching.